Hi, I'm Maria. Welcome back to my channel. First of all, I want to thank you all for the amazing comments that I had on my first video. I wasn't expecting any of this. Making my first video was really hard. I had to face my fear and my shame in order to unlock everything else. And most of my life, I always had this feeling that I wasn't totally understood or listened. And when I read some of your comments and some of the stories that you shared, that really touched my heart. So I'm really thankful for all your comments, all your feedback. Thank you for listening me. The decision to leave everything behind marks a turning point of years living guided by others' expectations. I realized that when I don't make my own decisions and when I don't make my own choices, I empower others to decide my life. And basically, I accepted a job that I didn't like it. I remained there unhappy for 17 years because of the money, because of fear of financial insecurities. And only now at 40, I realized that I could be the main character of my life. I can be the author of my life. So in this video, I'm going to share with you all the process, all the preparation, all the steps that I had to walk until I finally made it to Southeast Asia. First of all, I need to talk about money because my relationship with money was always based on scarcity. Even when I finished university, I started immediately saving money because I really wanted to buy a house. I cut off some luxuries, not driving to work, using public transports, not eating out, but it was never enough. One day, I had to admit to myself that I wouldn't be able to afford buying a house near Lisbon, and it was time to let go that dream and actually choose one that I could accomplish. I decided to sold a lot of things, including my 2002 Honda Jazz, which I missed a lot. I donated a lot of stuff, started working in social media management for Portuguese companies, while I set aside some savings for keeping me here even if I was unemployed. When I decided to leave, the most surprising reactions came from unexpected places. A few friends were really supportive and really curious about the change that I was about to make and the new life that I was about to live. But I also had indifference and disbelief. Maybe some thought that I would not be able to make such a big move, or maybe they thought, how do I dare to not follow the same path? And even now, 6 months after I left, I didn't heard any comfort, support, or even curiosity words from some people that I thought were my friends. When I told my family, they were in shock because they didn't expect me to make this decision at this stage of my life. At some point, they saw how determined I was in making that decision, and they started to accept it. I think that all of these years that I was telling them about my problems, they weren't truly listening. That's why they were so surprised. The biggest surprise came from work, the place where I thought that I would only submit my resignation letter and count down the days to leave. But I really had such amazing encouragement words. The truth is, I stayed in that job for so many years, not only because of the money, of course, but because of the relationships that I had with my patients and my colleagues. And in the moment of goodbye, I felt that connection, I felt that support, and I felt that encouragement. And it was a really nice surprise. Even now, 6 months after I left, they send me messages asking if everything is okay, if I'm happy, if I'm settling, and it's really good to hear from them. I thought that telling my boss was the easiest part. I was fine that day until I got on the bus. I started listening Spotify and some random playlist started playing the song from Robbie Williams, No Regrets. And those two words, no regrets, echoed in my mind. And then I started crying a lot. I burst into tears. And I realized in that moment that I was beginning to mourn the old me. The conversation with the boss was really embarrassing because after all that bus scene with the Robbie Williams song, I was really emotional and I burst into tears again and again and again. And I decided to only bring with me one cabin bag. I think I wanted to leave as much as I could behind in order to make room for new things and new me. But I do miss some things that I had. I miss my instruments, I miss my tipton singing bowls, I miss my hang drum because I use them a lot for meditation and for relaxation. But it was really impossible to fit them in my tiny cabin bag, so I needed to let them go. The last day in Lisbon, I slept in an empty room with a purse, with a cabin bag, and with the cat. My roommate has a cat. His name is Chester, and he's 12 years old. He has become this huge part in my life. He helped me a lot stay grounded and helped me a lot in difficult and sad and bad days. Even now, my mind likes to play tricks on me. I have two inner voices, one saying that it was time to leave all that, but the other one argues, saying, how dare you? There are people going through so much worse. I think the biggest courage is when we are honest about our unhappiness, even when other people think that we should be grateful, because I was grateful. I was really grateful every day for the job that I had, but still, that job didn't fulfill me. And now at 40, I don't have that feeling that I'm starting over. I have the feeling that I'm actually starting, actually living now. So I really want to thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next video.